asking for, do you have a doctor on board? I was like, don't see your life outside. She's like, because of man. Anyways, but...
Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Funta here. If you're new, you're welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming again. In today's video, just laugh along with me because it's some hard truths I'll be spilling here, but nonetheless, we move. So today, we're going to be talking about the limitations that I have faced just because I have sickle cell. Like, what are things that normally that other people would probably not think twice about and will be able to do that I can't do. Again, this is me personally. Other people that you might have met that have sickle cell are probably able to do these things. Sickle cell is relative for each person. So this is just things that I have or have not been able to do, and just laugh along with me. It's supposed to be funny. I mean, when you think about it, it's really not funny, but I try to make light of these things when I know that I can't change the situation, so I just make light of it. So yeah, here it goes. Oh, by the way, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do well and subscribe. It's free. I hope you know that. It is free to subscribe. I think you need a Gmail account to be able to do it though. So please subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends and tell your friends to tell your friends about this channel. And yeah, just please subscribe to my channel, and yeah, don't forget to tell your friends about the channel. Don't forget to share this video on your social media pages if you like, please, and thank you. So I'm going to be getting right into it. Like I said, I will be talking about like the limitations that I personally have faced because I have sickle cell. The first one is I can't travel as much as I would like to travel, and I'm gonna explain, don't worry. So when I say I can't travel as much as I would like to travel, traveling is, I mean, it's stressful enough. The problem with traveling is that when you're in the air, oxygen levels drop because of the high altitude. So a lot of the times with sickle cell, whenever there's a drop in oxygen, it sickles the blood even more, and so you're prone to have crises. But anyway, I can't travel to like some places because, I mean, I don't want to say I can't travel to some places, but it's just stressful. It takes a toll on my body, so I prepare well in advance. I take my medicine on board. I should let you know that I've been to several countries, but I would rather travel with a company. I don't like to travel alone. I remember we were courting, so it was a few months to my wedding. I had to go back home to prepare for the wedding and take pre-wedding photo shoots. My husband was in Nigeria at the time, and I traveled on the plane ride. I think I was already tired though, because I literally worked, or I worked and then I took vacation time and then I traveled. So I think my body was already giving me warning signals. I just remember that day on the plane, I started to feel dizzy, and like I said, because of the high altitude, so I started to feel dizzy. I just went to the back of the plane. I just told the air hostesses, like, I don't feel well. I feel like throwing up. All of the signs and symptoms that you feel when you're feeling dizzy and you feel like you're out of breath. Those are the things I started feeling. And the next thing I knew, they were asking for, do you have a doctor on board? I was like, don't see your life outside. Because of man. Anyways, but I quickly, I think they called, a doctor came and he was like, is everything okay? I was like, oh, I have sickle cell. He was like, oh yeah, you need to walk around, because I'd been sleeping, I think. I'd been sleeping, sitting on one spot. He's like, oh yeah, you need to walk around so that your blood can move properly. Thankfully, I was going to Nigeria, so it was a lot of people that knew about sickle cell on board and things like that. Yeah, I thought that was funny. For the rest of that plane ride, every like 30 minutes, I'll get up, I'll walk around, just to make sure I was breathing well. I was taking like deep breathing, and of course I took like medicine just to I wasn't even in pain per se. I think my body was just so tired, and the fact that I slept for such a long time, my oxygen was really depleted. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I try not to travel as much. So when I see people going to all these places, Dominican Republic, I wish to do it, but man, I rather go with company, or I prepare myself very well in advance. And then there are just some places I cannot go, like Iceland, all of these things that I see people doing, going into the water in all these cold ass countries. I can't do it. So yeah, that's one of the limitations. It's funny, but it's not funny. But like I said, I make light of situations that I know that I have no control over anyway. So that's that on that. Another limitation that I that sickle cell has on me is that I can't have as much children as I would like to have. To be honest with you, I'm fine with 2. Like in my heart of hearts, I'm fine with 2 because, I mean, kids are expensive. They're not particularly cheap. But there's some times when you just see that belly and you're like, oh, baby fever, oh my gosh. And then I'm telling my husband, oh yeah, now let's try. And he's like, don't even, first of all, like he's much older than me, he's done having kids. And second of all, he's like, the 9 months that you're up and down in this house, nobody's seeing it outside. I tell her, John 40 hour. So, you know, it's just both of us that deal with the trauma and the pain. So he's like, no, he's more traumatized than I am actually. But yeah, sometimes I just see, you know, I just see those baby bumps and I just wish that I could do one more, you know. And please, I'm not wishing for a boy. I'm good with my girls. I'm just saying, like, you know, just wish for another baby, but that's not happening. That's done, dusted. I know people ask, oh, what if it cannot happen? It's not going to happen. So let's just another limitation, or this one is a fear of having a crisis in random places. When I say random places, like a fear of just having a crisis in the weirdest places where people don't understand what's going on with you. That's one of the things. I remember that when my youngest daughter, she's 2 now, she has been swimming since I think 6 months, I can't remember, but she's been in swimming lessons for a while. And the initial stage when they first start, before they're 1, it's a parent-child swimming lesson. So usually my husband will go in the water with her and do that. But for some reason, okay, we were doing a makeup session, so it was during the week. And I think I was off that day, so I decided to take her for her makeup. I decided to take her for a makeup lesson. I got in the water. There was not a lot of parents who were there. You know, I mean, it's an indoor pool, but it was like March, so it was still kind of cool outside. But the water is heated, keep in mind. So yeah, we were there. We finished the swimming lessons. We had done all the things for the parent and the child. So we finished the swimming lessons, and then this lady decided to talk me to death. So I had come out of the pool, and it's kind of cold, and she was talking. I was like, oh my gosh, Fonto, it's cold, Fonto, it's cold. And it was as if my body was telling me, you better tell this lady that this is not time to be having this conversation. Anyway, I tried to indulge her. We talked and talked and talked. See, by the time I got into the changing room, the crisis just started. This thing is not funny. Oh God, this is not funny. The crisis just started. The pain, my back, my leg, my arm, I was in pain. And I have my child with me. I'm trying to change her from her swimming wear to her normal clothes. I couldn't do it. I was in pain. Like, I think the cold had entered my body right there and then, because I had stayed outside from the heated pool, because I had stayed out. You know, I think that's what happened, and it just hit me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sure Nivea was just looking at me like, what's wrong with this woman? I was just in so much pain. I couldn't even do anything. I couldn't sit. I couldn't stand. I was like, Funto, you have to be strong. I was just breathing in, breathing out. Next thing I knew, I now called my husband. He was home. Was he home or he had just left the gym? I can't even remember. But I just called him. I was like, I'm in pain. No. He was like, what happened? He was like, I'm coming. I was like, don't worry. I'm sure. I didn't even know what I was saying. Anyway, long story short, that's how I just stayed in that changing room. I'm sure they were wondering, what is wrong with this lady? Like, her session is over. She should be going home. It was a weekday, so it's not a lot of people. Usually the swim school is usually packed on the weekend. So it was not like, you know, but I was in so much pain. I'm sure I was just praying, God, please let this thing not embarrass me here. Let this thing not embarrass my ancestors here. Like, I was just praying, God, please let this pain go away. I shall mustered all the energy. See, in that crisis, let me tell you, once you have kids, all of these things, in fact, I don't know. I just thank God. But in that pain, I quickly dressed my daughter up. I dressed her up. I dressed myself up because I had to change from my swimming wear. It was cold, so you can imagine I was still wearing the swimming wear. So I changed myself. I mustered everything that I had. I went into the car. You know, I did not start. Of course, I started the car and then I turned on the heater to warm myself up, and then I just waited there. I could not drive home. I just was like, well, let me not bother my husband. Let me just keep driving. That's how I made it home. But I think he had already left, or I told him not to worry or something like that, you know, and by the time I got home, the pain had kind of subsided. So it's just the fear that this thing can just catch you, like, anytime, anywhere, anyhow, no respect. Like, so rude. This pain crisis that I'm talking about is just so rude. Like, you can just start having pain in random places and people don't understand what's wrong with you. I remember when I went to London, my cousin she has a travel agency now. I went to London for my family friend's wedding, Tokwe's wedding, Tokwe Kodri's wedding. So yeah, it was in April, right? And it was still kind of chilling in the UK, right? So we went, and after the wedding, Doyin wanted to take me sightseeing. I mean, Doyin and I grew up together, so she knows that I have sickle cell. She was taking me to Buckingham Palace. It was cold, but I was just like, you need to try to be strong, just and stuff like that. As if the light bulb just came on Doyin's head. She was like, Funto, wait, I hope I'm not stressing you. Is your leg paining you? I was like, no, I'm fine, it's okay. It's a lie, yo. I was having pain. I could not tell her because I was like, no, I want to see London now. I think, was that my first time? Yeah, that was my first time going to London. I was like, no, it's okay, I'm fine. We walk there. London, they don't have all this transportation like we do here. Jabata. Like, we walked and I was in pain. I was just like, she was like, are you sure? Are you okay? And it was cold too. I took pictures. I'll even probably insert the clips here. I took pictures. I enjoyed myself. I was like, this pain, you will not kill me, bro. Like, you just get to a point where it's like fight or flight. Like, you're just tired. Like, like you just want to just defy all the odds. So yeah, that's what I did that day. But of course, when I got back to my hotel, Abonike and I suffered for it, but still, like, there's some things I'm like, well, I'll suffer for it. I'll just do it just for the sacrifice sake and things like that. But yeah, that was that. So just the fact that you can get a crisis in a random times, in random places, with random people, and you are trying to explain to people. I can be in a gathering now with my friends and everybody's dancing and I'm like, well, let me go and sit in one corner. They won't know that that's what's wrong with me, but I've borrowed myself. It's not funny, but it's funny because, like I said, I don't have control over it. So yeah, that's that, like, random pain crisis just anywhere. The last one, because I don't want to make this video too long, the last one is, and this one is a bit emotional, is the fact that I can't qualify for a life insurance policy. And I'm sure, I mean, if you're in America, I hope you know what a life insurance, and I hope you have life insurance, because it's very important to have. We don't all pray to die, but at the same time, you don't want your kids to be left stranded financially if, one passes away, God forbid. We would live long by God's grace. So yeah, I don't qualify for life insurance because I have sickle cell in this life. Anyway, so my husband has life insurance, of course, and the kids are also, they also have policies. I remember when my husband was like, Funto, just try, just have faith, it's okay, we don't know what God can do. And our insurance guy is a friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time, I think over 10 years now, so he knows these things. And my husband just was persistent, like, there's nothing God cannot do. Maybe they will miss it somehow and things like that, and you'll be qualified. So this guy was like, okay, our insurance guy was like, okay, that's fine, let's try to see if you can get insurance. And I was like, sure, why not? I'm game. I had faith. I was like, yes, life insurance, like, at least if I die, God forbid, I'll live long, but if I die anytime soon, my kids will not be financially stranded. So we should have started the process. And if you don't know, a life insurance policy requires that you do a full blood test. They will even come to you. It's not a matter of you going to your doctor or trying to fake any result. They will come to you, they'll take your blood test just to make sure you don't have any underlying conditions. They will ask you a series of questions. So when they ask those series of questions, I kind of dodged it because they will ask about anemia, which is just, anemia is when you have like low blood counts. That's different from sickle cell disease. So I was like, oh yeah, that when I was pregnant, but I didn't give too much because they had told me don't give them too much information so that they won't come back and be asking more and more questions. So I scaled through the initial questionnaire, and then they brought someone in to come and do my blood test, and that's where the yawa just got. So we did the blood test. This was after my husband had gotten his own policy, and things like that. So I did the blood test, and it takes, I think, a week or two for the results to get in. So when the results came, it was there was something with my blood levels. I think it was the bilirubin. I can't remember now because I was so angry. I just thought the whole thing. But yeah, but basically they needed additional information because of my blood test, which I was not surprised by. I mean, my hemoglobin is low because I have sickle cell. It's way lower than average. Bilirubin, which is something that something that has to do with your liver and things like that. So all of those things did not tally with their average point. So they were like, okay, they're going to need more information. They don't even, the unfortunate thing is they don't speak to you. From there, they reach out to your doctor and they're like, okay, we need this person, we need Funtos medical records from so and so dates to so and so dates, and you know, they look at that, and based on that they make their decision on if you qualify for life insurance or not. I just realized that it was taking too long. I called our insurance agent. I was like, what's going on? He's like, don't worry, you know. And keep in mind, we applied for like the lowest amount, the lowest policy amount that we could, so it doesn't raise any radar. Because if you're within a certain age, there's sometimes that you don't even need to do blood tests. They will just approve you right away. It's very finicky. But because I guess my initial questionnaire and the fact that they did the blood test and you know things were just not adding up was the reason why I got progressed to having my medical records checked from my doctor. So like I said, they just go straight to your doctor. You don't talk to them. You're just seeing it on your portal, the status. So when I checked the portal, I saw that, oh, they had asked for medical records from my doctor. I was like, hey, I was still having faith, right? So, you know, it just took way longer than my husband's own took, and I was like, just give it up. But there was still that thing inside of me, faith, you know, hope against hope. Like, no, you'll get it. Anyway, long and short of it, our insurance guy now called. I was the only one home that day. I was working. I think my husband had taken the kids out. So I was working, he called, he was like, Funto, how are you? I said, don't patronize me, just get straight to the point. He's like, unfortunately, you didn't get approved for a policy. You know, I'm so sorry. I was like, it's okay. You know, I tried to be strong. I was like, it's okay, you know, things like that. See, by the time he got off the phone, I bawled my eyes out and I cried. The thing pained me. You know, it's like, I knew that there was a possibility, but the fact that it was now official, like, Funto, you cannot get a life insurance policy. So God forbid if you die tomorrow, you can't even say, you can't boast of giving anything or leaving anything for your kids. It hurt, it was painful. So I was just like, this sucks, man. Like, but you know, I tried my best. And the thing about it is, because I've gotten declined, and they're one of the major insurance companies, because I've gotten declined, the possibility of even getting life insurance or trying again with another policy company is slim to none, because they would ask if you've ever gotten denied. The only way I can get a life insurance policy is maybe with my job. You know, when you have insurance, they kind of cover, you kind of have that option, but just within the duration of you working at that company. But in any case, yeah, that's unfortunate, my unfortunate reality. But like I said, I've come to accept it. I pray for long life, I pray for longevity, but at the same time, I just trust that, God forbid, if I pass away, my children would be taken care of one way or the other. I can only hope, I can only pray, because I've tried my best. I can't come and keep myself and die away. But yeah, we move, man. It is what it is. So those are kind of like the limitations I face. I can't think of anyone else now. Those are the limitations I face with having sickle cell, with having this nasty disease. It's so annoying. Anyway, so yeah, in my next video, please, you guys, help me beg my husband. He said until I blow, before he comes on my channel, I want him to come and talk about how it is being married to someone that has sickle cell, because I know that a lot of people have relationship issues where their partner doesn't even understand what sickle cell is, and they get broken up, or they break up with them, or they don't even know the implications, or even people that are trying to get married or get into relationships that technically are not supposed to, or they're not genetically compatible, because they are not aware of the pain and, you know, the disadvantages. They just go in blindly. So I've been begging him to come and talk about it, but he says until I blow. So you people, please, in the comment section, help me beg him, like, please, Daddy Fife, please come and talk on this channel about how it is having a spouse that has sickle cell, like what he's had to deal with and things like that. But yeah, that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed my rant. Laugh with me, don't worry, I'm fine, I'm very okay. God is with me, and that's, you know, as long as I have that reassurance every day, I know that I will be fine. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for sharing my video. And until next time, bye.